Hi guys, my name is Sitaram Gawas. I'm a realtor in UAE, and today we are going to talk about a community which gives you an nature living experience when you are staying into it. This is one of the communities where you have more than 50,000 trees planted inside it, where you have clear privacy from your neighbors, a nature centric living spanned over 19 million square feet of an area. The community is a very well structured in certain ways, where you have not only living experiences in terms of your residentials, but also you have so many zones, well-being zones, spa zones, you have sports zones, you have a discovery center inside the community itself, you have a school inside the community. So it's a end-to-end community where you have an experience of living all together. Now this video will be structured into 3 different phases. So in the first phase, we will be discussing about the master plan of this community, how this community was specifically structured with different clusters, what you have inside this community, what is the current availability, what's the cluster name, and what exactly we can do. In the second step, we will be roaming inside the community itself to show you how this community has developed along these years, what is ready, what is currently under construction, what kind of experience you can have. Even right now I am standing into the community itself. At my back you can see one of these areas which is called as a kids play area. In the previous clip you might have seen a green lush background which is the main garden into this community. So this community is ready. Now that's the one of the very key aspects to look into this investment, because in Dubai mostly when you see in UAE all these projects are under construction. So to have an experience of the community which is ready and fresh construction is very rare to find. So one of the very best options for any end user specifically to have their family settled into a place where you have no traffic, where you have no issues of whatsoever, and a community which is ready with very fresh well-being structures is the kind of option I'm going to give it to you. And in the last section, the third section, we are going to discuss about the availabilities. We are going to discuss about what all options we have and how exactly you can turn this particular opportunity into an investment in the coming time. So as we discussed earlier, we will be now explaining you about the master plan of Masaar community, which has in total 7 clusters. When you look at this particular site over here, this is the very first cluster which they launched, which was named by Kaya, and followed with that this is the second cluster, which is Robenia. Now these first 2 clusters were leasehold clusters which were sold in the year of 2021. Now they are ready, the people are staying over there. Mostly when you see at this community, at the corner side, basically towards the periphery side of this particular community, you have all the townhouses, whereas in the center you have all the villas. So this is a very clearly, intelligently structured community where we have all the townhouses at the external periphery of the community and villas being in the center. Over here at the last corner of this community, you can see this structure over here. The structure is basically for the school which is going to open into this community. Also, you have a mall inside the community currently under construction, which will be operated by the time this entire community will be ready. The most key aspect in this community is all this villas, townhouses are structurally placed with a distance in between, where you have clear privacy without having any neighbors hindering you about anything. You have clear passage for all the walks, you have your own separate gardens, you have your own separate structures where you can stay, where you can roam with your family and do your things accordingly. As of now, the last cluster in which we are having few inventories left, I will show you that cluster so that you will have a better idea about it. So now we are at the last cluster of Masaar community, which is named as Saro. As I mentioned it to you previously, as first 2 clusters were leasehold. So what about the rest? So after the first 2 clusters, the rest 5 clusters were all freehold, where you have a free ownership, entire ownership towards your property, whether you are owning a townhouse over here or being a villa over here, you have the entire ownership. And as I mentioned it to you, in terms of structures, you have townhouses at the periphery, which you can see over here, and all the villas are basically situated in the center of this community, where you have 4 bedrooms villas over here, followed by 5 bedroom signature villas, and then in the center you have all these 6 bedroom villas. Not only the community is having these residentials, but you have the amenities like sports area, you have your swimming pools, your other recreational zones, you have park in between, And the most key aspect is this Masaar Discovery Center, which is going to be the mall inside the community. And considering your own cluster, which is Saro, this is going to be to the very close proximity to the people who are staying here. So most aspirational things for you, even in terms of investment, in terms of resale, it will add a very good value in terms of your investment as well. All these villas are having aesthetic designs, and if you can see, when you dive into the community, this is the passage where you have all the basically driveways where cars will be roaming, and this is the internal passage. And as you can see, all these internal passages where two villas are facing each other, they are not only guarded by the middle what we say wall, but they are also guarded by the huge trees. And I'm not talking about small trees which are just at the height of 3-4 feet or 4 feet. It's a very huge trees of 9 feet 10 feet tall. So with this, you have a very clear privacy in between your owners as well. So that gives you one more understanding that you are living into a forest theme community with good privacy, good air. And even during the rains, when we saw previously that Dubai was impacted a lot because of the rains, but this community was impacted very less because of the structure they have built. So that's why when you invest into this particular locality, specifically this cluster of Saro, you have this specific key aspects to look after for. Talk about this community, there are several aspects which we need to look into. The very first aspect is nature-inspired living. As you have seen into the cliffs, this entire community is situated with more than 50,000 trees which are planted inside it. And all this gives you a very warm feeling of staying into this area altogether. Now the second aspect is residential choices you have. You have 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, very spacious townhouses, and you have 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom, 6-bedroom signature villas when you stay inside this community to make a residential choice. The next most important aspect is wellness and recreational zones. You have sports zones, you have swimming pools, you have parks, you have spa zones, wellness zones all around the area where you have F&Bs, you have food trucks, everything inside the community itself. You have jogging tracks, cycling tracks to roam around the community altogether. The third most important aspect after this comes together is the options which you have in terms of having a smart living experience. Inside your home itself, it's entirely smart home. So you save on the electricity, you make intelligent choices with your home when you are residing into it. The next important aspect is educational and healthcare facilities. You have 24/7 running ambulance inside the community. So you, at any point of time you have any emergency, you can just call into them and you can take in service of this medical services inside it over here. And also for educational services, you have a school, a K-12 school designated for the students over here. So they can go, they can study, and they can have an experience of all it inside the community itself. Going forward, what you have is a discovery center inside the community itself. It is going to be a mall which will have F&B, dining spaces, a movie theater, everything inside over there. And the last most clear aspect is the safety and privacy. Now when you see this community, it's a gated community. So when you stay inside it, you know your family is safe inside there. If I consider myself, my family is going to stay over here. They are staying into a place which is safely guarded. You have people roaming around, a very good experience of staying. and a cultural living experience altogether when you stay inside UAE itself. So that makes a very good choice when you consider this community. Now when we talk about this community, in this community what we have in terms of availability is we have townhouses and we have villas. Townhouses which are starting from 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom and 4 bedroom structures with a very huge size, and villas starting from 4 bedroom, 5 bedroom and 6 bedroom. As of now we have very few inventories left. We have very few inventories in terms of 2 bedrooms ready townhouses. There is only one single inventory left, and we have couple of inventories with 3 bedroom and 4 bedroom townhouses, but the major inventory which is currently available is in terms of villas. Now this is the very last phase of this community. When you consider this is in terms of an investment opportunity, after this there is a news that one more phase of Masaar will be coming. So when that phase will be there, in future you will have a very good appreciation, and as this is a freehold community altogether, as the price will rise, your a residential project price will also rise. So that will give you an assurance that yes, this is a very good investment opportunity. It's in very close proximity towards the main financial hub of UAE, and it is very well connected to the Emirates road, which is one of the major Emirates road. So now when you consider all the specific considerations, you know that when you're making an investment, it's very simple. Now let's talk about the options to buy into this community, and I'll give you a very simple example. When you invest into this, you have two separate ways. When you go with a ready property, you have 20-80 plan, in which 20% can be your investment in terms of your what we say down payment, and 80% can be the mortgage you can take from the bank. As talking about this developer Arada, the owners are Prince of Sharjah and Prince of Saudi Arabia. So the kind of reputation they have in the market is very huge. Plus they have a tie-up with Sharjah Islamic Bank as well. So you will get the mortgage at a very minimal interest rate. That's an added benefit for you. And when you consider any property which is off plan, now when I say off plan, it's not like the construction is going to take 4 years of time to complete. This entire community will be up and running in coming 2 years itself. Mostly by quarter 2 of 2026, this entire community which you can see surrounding to me will be ready. And in this community, when you consider off-plan option, you have a payment plan of 30-70. That means during the construction you pay 30% of your payment, and rest 70% can be paid at the time of handover. Then again you have the same option that you can take the mortgage, and that's how you can make an investment into this community. So I guess I have covered all the necessary topics which needs to be discussed when we are considering this community. As we discussed earlier, the three major things: first one about the location, the master plan; the second one about the community itself, how it has been constructed and well built; and the last one was the availability. So now if you have any more questions, any more queries, you want to understand how exactly you can make a very smart investment choice by considering this community altogether, you can let me know. I'll brief you about it. My email IDs and my numbers are already shared over here in the description, also will be mentioned over here on the screen. You can get in touch with me and we can have a very good discussion about how we can make a very